Hello, everyone. Today we're back with Charlie Kirk reaction number 9. Today we're going to be looking at Charlie Kirk debunking American racism. This is another nice and short clip. I'm going to try and make the videos a little shorter from now on. I realize I've been rambling on past ones. So yeah, let's just get into it.
First of all,
also apologies. This is their video that they put entirely in your left ear. And I don't have the proper tools at the moment to adjust the audio balance. I think there's an extension for it, but I don't know what it's called. I know Asmongold has it, but I don't know what it's called, so bear with me.
first of all, I want to thank you for speaking here. I think it's important to be exposed to differing ideas, even if you don't necessarily agree. I think that's how consensuses are reached. So moving into my question, you mentioned that you don't think there's any institutional racism left in this country. And I think that's a pretty strong statement that I don't necessarily agree with, especially in our justice system where the United States Sentencing Commission actually contends that black men are 19% more likely to be sentenced, have longer sentences for similar crimes. And that's when every other demographic factor is accounted for, like age, income, I guess area within society. So I was wondering what you think about that, particularly because there is that imbalance. And
where'd the stat come from? I'm interested.
You mentioned that you don't think there's any institutional racism left in this country. And I think that's a pretty strong statement that I don't necessarily agree with, especially in our justice system where the United States Sentencing Commission actually contends that.
United States Sentencing Commission. Okay, so I cut out this whole section, but I went and fact-checked that. This was a 2023 study by the United States Sentencing Commission. It was not 19%. That's fine. He's a little off on the number. No big deal. It was about 13% for black males. And it was a little lower for Hispanic males when compared to white males. And that was only for sentences not resulting in imprisonment. So I don't know if that means like community service and probation, anything other than imprisonment. And then when you, they had different numbers broken down by for imprisonment, 18 months and less, then 18 months to 60 months, and then 60 months and above as well. And those numbers were all even lower than that. They were all single digit discrepancies. And then once you got to the 60 months and up, white males actually got longer sentences by 1% than black males. Then they also threw some female statistics in there too, and some of those numbers don't hold up either for this talking point of systemic racism. So yeah, you can go check it out yourself. Maybe I'll drop a link here or here. I don't know where I'm pointing on the screen. I don't know. You can go check it out yourself. Continue.
When every other demographic factor is accounted for, like age, income, I guess area within society.
They did not provide that information in the study. So,
when every other
or counterpoint, maybe I'm looking at a different study than him. But this is, I believe this video was in 2023 or 2024, and the study I found is from 2023. So,
more likely to be sentenced, have longer sentences for similar crimes, and that's when every other demographic factor is accounted for, like age, income, I guess area within society. So I was wondering what you think about that, particularly because there is that imbalance, and I would regard that as institutional. So.
Is the quality of their...
I would say if true, then there's a case to be made for that. But like, based on what I saw, not true.
Is that imbalance, and I would regard that as institutional. So.
Is the quality of their legal representation factored into the study?
Another good point. You get a bad lawyer or a good lawyer. Same case, same defendant, same judge, same jury, everything. Maybe you get different sentencing. Or conversely, the quality of the prosecutor.
I can't speak to that because I don't know.
It's not.
Yeah. All right.
So for example, if LeBron James committed a crime, he'd have pretty good lawyers, right?
Controlled and uncontrolled variables.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say?
LeBron James committed a crime.
Yeah, because I don't know.
It's not.
Yeah. All right.
So for example, if LeBron James committed a crime, he'd have pretty good lawyers, right?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's an income and or legal quality point, not...
And then I'll throw one more thing in there. It depends on where they're prosecuted.
A race point, right?
Go back.
And or legal quality point, not a race point, right? Here's my contention. My contention is the following. There are other reasons to blame disparities other than discrimination, a lot. And one of my biggest learning moments today on campus is how almost everything gets attributed to racism or discrimination. There's a fabulous book I encourage all of you to read.
Democrats are addicted to race. Why? Well, they lost black people as slaves, so now their entire reason for living and their entire Democrats' entire political agenda is to make black people slaves of the mind. You don't believe me? I mean,
Everything gets attributed to racism or discrimination. There's a fabulous book I encourage all of you to read. It should be required reading by black economist Thomas Sowell called Discriminations and Disparities.
And here's one way they'll do it. Black economist Thomas Sowell sounds like he'd probably agree with Charlie Kirk on a lot of stuff. You know what these people would do? They'll call him an Uncle Tom. Guarantee it. 100%. And that goes back into the black culture thing where they put each other down and try to keep each other stupid for some reason, like holy fuck, and then they're gonna complain about, oh yeah, we're poor, living in ghettos, all this shit. Meanwhile, you look at these motherfucking Nigerians, right, who emigrated over here. Nigerians are, I forget if they're the most successful immigrant class or one of the most successful immigrant classes in the entire country. They're black as fucking night, motherfucker. So what the fuck's your excuse? It ain't skin color, I'll tell you that. It's your culture. Got a little derailed there, but
Everything gets attributed to racism or discrimination. There's a fabulous book I encourage all of you to read. It should be required reading by black economist Thomas Sowell called Discriminations and Disparities. It might be the other way around. Disparities, whatever. I think it is discrimination and disparities. And he makes the argument there are hundreds of other potential explanations for not just racial groups, but smaller than racial groups, how you go locally, linguistically, and all this. So I encourage you to look at that. And you have to factor that in. I don't think for a second, and you wouldn't either, that Oprah Winfrey, who has a house right down the street, if she committed a crime, that somehow she would not be able to get the best legal help. It's not about skin color as much as it is income, which is not about race. It's about other choices, such as, is there a father in the home? For example, if a black has a mom and a dad present, that family and that child has a higher chance of all objective facts of success, college attendance, low likelihood of committing crimes, than a white child that has just a single mother. You see, fatherhood transcends color lines. And what we have learned through massive macroeconomic studies is that when blacks have fathers around, not only do they succeed as much, they succeed even more sometimes than white families. And that is my contention. Thank you for being here.
there you go. Definitely helps having a father. Two-parent home, like mother and father. Hell, even if you got a mom and mom or a dad and dad, two-parent home, you need one person to take on each role. You're going to set your kid up infinitely more for success than in a single parent home. And even if you get divorced, you have a responsibility. It is incumbent upon you to stay involved in your child's life in a positive and beneficial fashion, to co-parent with your ex-wife or ex-husband. It is incumbent upon you to do so. You need to stop being a selfish piece of shit, and you need to put your fucking child first that you had with that person. Even if you hate that motherfucking person, if you're not living hundreds and thousands of miles away, you need to co-parent and you need to help raise that motherfucking child to becoming a good, well-mannered, functioning, happy member of society. You owe it to them. You owe that new human being that you created everything, right? You do everything in your power to make them successful. Even if you got divorced from that bitch or that bastard. It's not fucking complicated, okay? Jesus. Anyways, I was going to say something else. I went on a couple tangents. We'll call it there. Hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. all that shit. I read every comment. I mean, I don't get a lot. I mean, I got like 4 subscribers right now, but so for now, I read every comment and then I'll reply to it or like it or whatever. Hey, thanks for watching. Peace.